Hello students, myself Sunanda Biradar. I am taking a video lecture on web technology and its applications. This is the course overview and course outcomes. HTML5 particularly gives you support for certain additional text input controls which you are not able to see in the previous versions of HTML. Like text is available in the previous also, right, where you have to create a text box. This example we have seen input type equal to text you are using, right. For a multi-line text entry we are using text area. You can mention the number of rows and columns which should appear inside a form. Otherwise by default it is appearing with certain rows and columns as well. You know that certain fields when we type look like a text box, but the data is hidden data, right, it is encrypted. So for that we call it as a password usually, right. So the name of the text input control is also password here. Input type equal to password can be used. For searchable element, like create a single line text entry box suitable for searching a string. This is not available in previous version of HTML, but in HTML5 this is supported. Input type equal to search can be given. Email, again you can make use of, if you are collecting a email data from a user, you can use input type equal to email, right. Telephone, input type equal to email. Why we should use, I'll tell you. If you are using a text box, you can type any text element into that, like but when you have observed any forms, like you might have seen the error messages that are coming when you are typing irrelevant data. Particularly for email, it looks the presence of at the rate and dot symbol in the data that you have entered. I cannot enter directly Sunanda Biradar in place of email, isn't it? It says that it's not a valid email ID, right? So it checks for the presence of at the rate symbol and dot within that. So instead of writing a script for verification of the data, you can directly use input type equal to email instead of text. So then it will automatically does the verification, and if user makes a mistake, then it notifies the user that you have entered a wrong data in place of email. Similarly, that is applicable for telephone also. Input type equal to tel, if you use, it will take only a numerical data which should be larger than certain number of digits, right. So it is not accepting ABC. If we are typing something like ABCD in a telephone number field, then it will prompt it will throw a error message saying that you are entering a wrong data here, please type a valid data. So that can be done with a tel as a input control. Similarly, if it is asked to enter a path of a file, you can use input type equal to URL. So in all the four cases you have a provision to make use of text also, text box also, but specifically you are using these where the verification of the data entered by the user is done automatically. Rather than saying verification, we call it as a form data validation, that is done automatically in case of these input controls. Those are supported only by HTML5 and you are not able to see them in previous versions of the HTML. Yeah, this is the text input control. Text box looks like this, text area looks like this, right. Password, when you typed it, is appearing in a bulleted form, right. You can try this practically also with some examples, right. Then searching text, it is appearing like this, right. You have a provision for cancellation also. Email, yeah, you can observe this error message here. If I just type something, it is saying please enter a valid email address. Validation of the data entered by the user is done automatically, right. Same is applicable for URL and telephone field also. HTML5 is giving you some advanced control, right. As I said, you can write a syntax also directly, right. As I said, in order to do a validation, you can write a scripting code that we are going to do it in our lab also, web lab also. But apart from that, you can check the pattern of, if the pattern is simple, you can check it by giving your own control as well. Like As I said in email, it must have at the rate symbol, and telephone should have only numerical. So that is done automatically. Like say I want to create a text box where user has to enter the USN. It has a particular pattern, no? University seat number, you cannot randomly enter anything into that, isn't it? So for that I want to define my set of rules or a pattern, how it should look like, right? In that case what you can do is you can just mention a placeholder where you are specifying a certain value here, L hash L space hash L hash, indicating that it should have these number of this is showing you the format here, that is letter number letter space number letter number. Okay, this is the format for this particular text box. So in order to indicate it to the user, this is just displayed when a form is displayed for the first time on his screen. You can try this, practically and see it, rather than I explaining it theoretically to you. Pattern you can observe. First is letter, no, so it can be anything between A to Z. Okay, hash is as I said is a number 0 to 9, then again letter is the A to Z, space is needed, space is typed here in the pattern, again digit letter and digit, then here close the double quote. So this is matching for this particular pattern. If you enter anything other than this pattern, that will be not accepted. You can just observe here, if you are specifying this for this particular text box and the user enters say ABCD, which is not matching, because the second one should be a number kind of data, so it is not matching. This way you can raise the errors automatically. Okay, you can also observe a data list here, right? Data list and select, right? What is the difference? What is the difference in select and data list is, in select you don't have a provision to type your own data. Okay, whatever is listed, that has to be chosen. Whereas in case of data list, it is giving you a list of options. Apart from that, if you have any other choice, you can type it also, right? That's a main difference. Otherwise the syntax of this remains almost similar, and the appearance also. You are not able to see a mandatory thing. You can just type anything you wish also. It's not necessary you should choose only. So choose only is mandatory when you use a select tab. Okay, so that's the difference. This we have already seen. I will not go for explanation of this. One change I would like to tell is select size equal to 3. See, by default it is showing you only one option, no? Here when I click, when I am not clicking, right? If you want to show more than one item like 3, you can say size equal to 3, right? This way you can specify what should be the size of a drop down list by using the size attribute along with the select tag as a attribute for that. Okay, which value to send? In case of drop down list, which value is sent is this is the way the query string is constructed. Name of that drop down box is choices, right, is equal to then the value that you have chosen. Here we have chosen second, no? So second equal to second is sent, right? Here what we have done is, instead of what you say directly sending the value here, what we have done is we have written our own value for identification purpose. If first is chosen, value is sent as 1, second is chosen, value is sent as 3, third is chosen, value is equal to 3 is sent. In that case, choice is equal to 2 is used. So these are the two ways in which the data can be sent. In which way the data can be sent from a selected list. Okay, so radio buttons we have already seen. Okay, this is the way it appears. We have seen an example already. Checkbox, you know, right? Input type equal to checkbox is used, right? What is the difference in using checkbox and radio button? In checkbox you have a provision to choose multiple options, right? But not in case of radio button. Okay, just look here. For this case, again you can it has to send both name and value in order to say which are all the options it has chosen, right? Otherwise that is the only difference. You cannot send multiple options with the radio button, but with the checkbox it is possible, right? So that's all about HTML. prescribed for your syllabus. In next video lecture we will see about CSS. Thanking you.